Well, guess it's a day of junk food. Just got out of the sex establishment. I was going to leave sooner because it was boring, and I was like, cut my losses, but it was really expensive. Like $29, 29 something. And I took my time getting dressed, and finally someone that I liked came. But it's always a weird situation. Comes in with a couple of friends, jokester, wearing a sweatshirt like me, but can tell that they're insecure about their bodies, as I saw afterwards. Probably someone who lost a lot of weight, but I don't know, it ended up happening. And wow. But I guess he's really shy. He's not from here, obviously, or if he is, he don't speak no English and no French. Yo hablo español, pero no puedo explicar. I was like, I guess he was really shy. And I guess he kept smiling, but it was like, anyways. Number 2. So, in the last video, I think I mentioned that I wasn't sure where I was going to go. I was going to stay home. Oh no, that my mood was down. But then someone contacted me on one of the apps after a long time, and he was like, "Oh, come to his place." I was like, "All right, I can get ready." Closeted mofo. So I took to prep, and then it was like, here's my address, but he wasn't giving his address. I'm like, what's your address? He was just saying like a corner streets, and I'm like, is it close to a subway? It's like, yes, but you have to take a bus. No, that makes it complicated. You have to pick me up. I'm like, okay. And then again, he was asking questions, putting boundaries and stuff, or creating demands. What did it for me was, what stopped it for me is like he said, yeah, I hope it's quick because I have to leave at 6, but I can push it. And it was already almost 5, like 7 minutes to 5. I'm like, I didn't even take a shower and stuff. I'm like, that's going to be too tight. I'm just going to go to the establishment like I planned. Because I was already debating going. And I actually asked him, he said, I've never been there. I'm not out or whatever. All that crap. Maybe you don't, I don't know. It's usually people of non-westernized origin, You gotta not disappoint your parents type thing. But leading a double life. So, I said I was going to be too tired. I'm going to go to the G.I. Joe's clan. Because, first of all, it's disrespectful. Plan it properly. And then he like writes, oh, I really would have wanted, we should have talked earlier, and keep me in your contacts. And I didn't. I was even thinking of blocking, because I'm like, no, you showed disrespect. That's it. But I was like, I'm not going to waste the prep, so guess I was going. So, of course I'm angry, but the more I practice it, the less angry I get, and the less, violent I guess. I was like, I just understood. I saw the red flag. I put my boundary up. I'm like, nope, I'm not accepting this. You're not worth that. I'm worth a little bit more respect than that. And that's that. Sorry, so I just finished the third one. It's 8:28, still walking home. The down is coming. I guess that's kind of normal. My legs I walked a lot. Because when you walk, you're going up 3 flights of stairs, going around to many rooms and stuff, and then eventually start getting tired, my legs start getting stiff, but I also, because I did legs yesterday, so it's a mixture of all of that. I went to the gym today. If you see the video before this, and I have a video before that's still uploading. But anyways, so I like the fact that I'm just adding clips as I go, and I have more space on here because I have 8 gigs. Well, now it's less and less, but because I took off a lot of stuff, which I have to go look into that. But it just goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm guessing it's the same thing with people who do drugs, and they're on the high, and then they go down, they go on the high. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm probably going to do the same thing like I did yesterday and today. Have problems going to bed because it's already 8 something. Procrastinating before starting my night routine. But did I take a shower? I did. I could take a quick one and lotion up. Hair? I'm sweaty. Maybe I'll do a quick rinse. Anyway, see what time I get up and go to the gym again, lightly again, just to kind of keep that routine without killing myself. And hopefully, because I know I'm going to be down tomorrow, how many things I need to catch up on, and I'm slowing things down so I can actually focus on things. And almost home. So another thing that is bumming me out, it's been years I've been trying to find someone to partner up with for another YouTube project, because this one is my, personal journal, with the occasional reaction video, It's a small community, not monetizable, but I'd like to be able to do something with someone else and make something bigger. There's like Caleb Hammer, who has a finance channel. I don't know. It's me building up my confidence. I guess, of course, when you have something that's already big, you just hire someone. And that's what I did when I had my businesses, but I didn't build them up. No one wants to build one up from scratch, and I thought I try. When someone writes on their app intro that they're a podcaster or something, so I spoke to the guy about it. And I assumed he lived here, because it said Montreal. But anyways, he doesn't. He plans on moving. But we're talking, it seemed good, and then it kind of stopped. No pressure. But then he added the phrase, so what else do you like to do? Or what else are you on here for, or whatever? And I'm like, oh, no. Fuck that. So, not a good plan on my part. Maybe, I guess the more and more frustrated and the more I delve into things, introspection, the more I have time to do this, because there's nothing else. But the more chance I can kind of start something. Okay. But I would still need a job, and I'm thinking of a lot of things. Maybe working in the gay village, going to casting agencies, etc. Just had another thought. It's kind of sexual. When I was at the establishment, sometimes when it's kind of psychopathic, because I kind of will go for anyone if I just want to. But no, I'm very picky. But one guy, he was kind of cute, and then we were out in open airs, and I was like, okay, then what? And then I finally just got up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk around now, because there wasn't anything else to do. I wasn't going to, fuck them, and no one had a room. Like when you're cheap and you just get a locker, but it was really expensive. But this one guy who was beautiful that I just mentioned, he just worked me. No locker, no nothing. Just, it was good. But anyways, it takes someone that I'm really attracted to, But then after that, there was a second guy, and it wasn't working either. Like, this place is like, rejection city. Some people are not attracted to you, or some people just leave in the middle of sex, and because it's not working. And now I do it. It's just like, if it's not working, don't do it. So I've kind of, I guess, improved. I don't know. I think the first guy may have been mad. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I think he actually went somewhere else, and he was topping someone, and I think he just had to get it off. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Then I had to do the same thing. But anyway, so then the second guy, and he couldn't tell. Like, sometimes you don't know if people are arrogant or extremely shy or just on too many drugs to know what's going on, or they need to go on drugs to open up first. I don't know. So he would go and he would close his room and close his door to his room, and so it's like obviously he's not interested. Then it just happened after a while. He left the door open, so I went in. He had a room, obviously, and I could tell he was older by his tribal tattoos, faded tribal tattoos. It's like, yeah. When you get things that are like stuck in a certain era or decade, what do you do afterwards? I know some people, they kind of go over it, like when they get a tattoo that they don't like, and they kind of find a good artist to kind of remake it and modernize it and all that. It's a lot of, or try to remove it, but then it's more expensive, more painful, and the risk of scarring, you know? So, anyway, so I went in. I was like, why not? And then right away, I can tell he was on steroids. Um, and I think he had gyno. I don't know. Everything was like hard here. It was weird. I don't know. But he had hair, not hair pulled back like mine, but like, you know, and he was of the culture or ethnicity to make me believe that he probably had a shit ton of hair. It looked like it was straight, but you know, when straight hair, you can't tell how thick it is compared to curly, or like my hair poofs up. I try to keep it down, but usually the poofy hair compensates for lack of. You can't tell if there's a lot or a little until you straighten it, you know. But on straight hair, I'm able to tell now when someone has a ton of hair. Like if there's like hardly any volume and it's still big. He had a little bit of volume, but when I got closer to him, I'm like, oh. And plus with the tattoos and the jewelry and the nicely shaped beard, like he had his look down pat, you know. Um, for what he had, you know. Um, he compensated for what he was lacking genetically. You know, when girls get plastic surgery to make them look, it was kind of like that. I don't think he got plastic surgery, but everything was like steroids, tribal tattoo, jewelry, wig. Because when he's down sucking on my pipe, I was a little worried that he wanted me to do that because he wasn't turned the other way around, but he switched. But anyways, so if anyone's at the end of this video checking this, or I'm in the middle, but when he's down on his knees and I'm looking at his head, it's like there's no, when there's like no scalp, like you see no scalp, like when you part the hair, you gotta see scalp. You know what I mean? Even when you have a whole ton of hair. So when you have a whole ton of hair, the way I can tell that it's a lot of hair is that the diameter of the scalp, like the part, is small, and someone who has less hair, it's wider. I can kind of tell that. But then I see a lot of girls with fine hairs, and their parts are still pretty small, but their ponytail circumference is like maybe like mine, which is average, average or medium, or depending. But I get whatever, depending on how dry my hair is, like it can compress. Enough of that. But then he got up, and then I'm looking at his forehead. It's like it's one of those hair systems that doesn't even have a good hairline. It's just, so I didn't want to touch it. But then again, I don't like it when people touch my hair. Sometimes people grab back and they touch and you feel bobby pins in there and stuff, and then they're like, okay. Um, so it's like a sign to like don't touch, because it's not for being pulled on or anything. Which is probably why I go in and do these things and I'm the dominator, because I don't want people touching my hair. And if I'm all sweaty and all that, it starts to poof up and then it feels rough. And I'm like, oh shit. But when I cool down, then it starts to feel smooth again with the oils in it. It's weird, my hair. So that was that. Um, but I wasn't that turned on. It felt like it was nice to look. Like sometimes it's nice to look at, but there's no chemistry. But this third guy was like, and this one kid who was asking me for a sip of water and then some. I carry a jar of Vaseline to moisturize my hands and lips and do whatever, you know. I like that. Because I don't like those lubes. They're too expensive and they're. I end up wasting a lot of product. Jar of Vaseline costs $4 at Walmart, $3.99. Anyways, so this kid comes up to me and asks me for. It was nice. It just wasn't whatever, but he was giving head to the guy I liked, and they were out in the open, and I was like, oh. But then I went to town, and it was fun. Anyways, why am I talking about this? Because I want to. If anyone's listening. But I mean, my ideal face, body, booty, my type, you know? Yeah.